Hey everyone, it's Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making this adorable stamp set with this little stamp set from MFT Stamps. And I just purchased and acquired from, I picked it up from Vanessa Middleton's shop, Butterfly Reflections Inc. And so I wanted to make a card with it today. So we're going to start off by doing some die cutting. And I'm going to be using this frame die, this square frame die from Pretty Pink Posh. I like this little scallop frame die. I think it's adorable. And I really do like square frame dies. I really do like the size of square cards. So we're going to be making the square card today, a 5x5 square card. And I'm going to be cutting out two white panels, one for the inside and one for the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut both of my panels at once and get that out of the way. So, I normally don't show the inside of my cards, but I thought it would be kind of a fun and different thing to show you guys today. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and do the inside too. So I've gone ahead and getting all my die cutting out of the way. And then I'm going to start with my stamping. And this is the stamp set that I'm going to be using today. And I'm going to be using this adorable girl image. And this is obviously the Pure Innocence. I believe this is called I Heart You. And I'm going to stamp that with my acrylic block here with some Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I am going to be using my Copics for this today. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to get this really well inked and stamped down. Get a really good impression. And I apologize for the band-aid on my finger there. I pretty much lost a nail. And it hurt. And it got a, kind of side note, it got I didn't want to show a half of a nail on camera, so I just covered it up with the Band-Aid. Don't you just hate that? I hate that. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and do some Copic coloring on this little image. And I'm going to try, as I was editing this, I noticed that some of my coloring here is going to be out of frame, so I do apologize for that. But I did attempt to show you the caps of the colors that I was using. So, but obviously, as always with all of my videos, I will have everything listed and linked below the video for you. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the E11, and then I'm going to finish up with the E13. I'm kind of experimenting with different skin tones right now. I am, as I mentioned before, and if you've watched my videos for a while, you know that I don't do a whole lot of coloring on my videos, and I'm trying to change that because it is fun. It's just something that kind of intimidates me, and so I'm trying to get into it and really do a lot of practicing, because obviously if we don't practice, we can't get better. So that's why I am attempting to do more coloring. And because I see all of these gorgeous images and cards and stuff on social media, Instagram, my Facebook, Twitter, and some of these ladies out there, and gentlemen too, they're so awesome with their coloring, and I just find that I'm in awe of it. So I'm a long ways from that, but we got to start somewhere, right? So I've gone ahead and finished up coloring her skin. And I'm going to color her hair. Now, these images to me, when it comes to the hair, because of the way they're illustrated, it seems like they're a little bit difficult to do hair. So I just kind of wing it. But, I've got a long way to go as far as trying to get the hair coloring technique down with the flickering, with the marker to make it look like, strands of hair. But, I guess, it could be a good and a bad way, depending on how you look at it, the way it's illustrated. It kind of melds all together, and it really does look like hair. So I'm thankful for that. But right here, I'm kind of testing out some ink colors for her little shirt that I'm going to be coloring in. So I'm going to be using BG15 and BG13. BG13, of course, my lightest, and 15 for my darkest. And usually, whenever I do color with Copics, more times than not, I usually do 3 shades. But for this image, I just decided just to go with 2 if I could. And, I got away with it just fine. So So, and I really do love these colors here. These aqua colors, really, really pretty. And you will see too that I will not be coloring in her skirt. I am going to be actually paper piecing. I haven't done paper piecing in quite a long time. I'm trying to go old school, if you will, because I used to do a lot of paper piecing whenever I first started card making, and I kind of got out of it. Obviously, you know, as I've mentioned here recently, that I'm just using my pattern papers recently as a whole, I've kind of gotten out of, but I'm trying to really bring that back into my crafting. And I noticed here that I missed her neck area too, so I went back to color in her neck area as well. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up coloring her body here. Like I said, I'm leaving off her skirt, and I went ahead and colored it in the heart with the RV29, and I did darken it up just a little bit with R29, I believe it is, and then colored it. I love this kind of pinky red color, really, really pretty. So I'm going to go in and kind of darken that up a little bit. And I didn't show this on camera, but you see kind of how I went out of line there as I was coloring the actual card part. And the reason why I didn't show it is because it was out of frame. So I figured, you know, might as well just edit it out because you can't see it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead with coloring the whole card part with some warm grays, the W3 and W5. And I went ahead and did all that. And the part that you did not see is that I took my colors blender and tried to put back in that little part of red that kind of went outside the lines of the heart. I took that and kind of pushed it back in and then recolored with my warm grays here. So you can't even tell that I went out of line really. So now I want to get ahead and darkened it up and just kind of finished up the whole coloring process. So now I'm going to go ahead and take some pattern papers. This is from an Avery L stamp or pattern paper set. From a 6x6 set, and I am going to, like I said, paper piece her skirt. So I've chosen this pattern here, and I'm just stamping a portion, just the skirt part, of course, that I need, and just cutting this out. And I'm just going to trim this out with my paper snips here. And now I'm going to take the coordinating die for this stamp set and just cut her out. I love the fact that MFT changed the way that they did their dies. I wasn't a big person on the what do they call it, closed end dies, or what, I don't know exactly the name of what the type of die it was, but they're closed in. I was not a fan of that. It seemed like I had more trouble with those type, and so that's why I didn't buy a whole lot of stamp sets from MFT for a long time because of those dies. And I'm a big person on getting coordinating dies with my stamp sets, obviously, because I don't feel like I'm a very good fussy cutter, and it does take less time to work with your images if you do have the dies, I feel. Some people do like to fussy cut, and that's great. I'm just not one that does. So anyway, I've gone ahead and applied some glue to Tamamano to the little skirt there and put that down, and then I just took my Copic marker to kind of blend the two between her shirt and her skirt so it just wouldn't look so flat. So now I'm going to go work on my card base here. I've got a diagonal stripes stamp, background stamp here from Simon Says Stamp. And this is the Scuba ink. And I'm going to be applying this stamp to my card base just to give it a little bit of texture. So I'm coloring up my whole stamp here. And now this card base is Coastal Cabana. This cardstock is from Stampin' Up. I'm not quite sure if they still sell this color. It's been a very, very long time, well over a year, maybe closer to 2 years, since I have purchased anything from Stampin' Up. So I'm not familiar with their colors anymore, but they may or may not have this color anymore, but I really do like it. So I had it in my stash, so I wanted to use it today, and it really, really went well with the colors that I chose for my girl image here. So you can see how it kind of looks kind of swatchy right now, but as time goes on, that will even out. So if you do this, if you've never used their inks before, Simon Says Stamp inks, with a lot of manufacturers, the formula, it does even out once you stamp it. So now I'm taking my frame that I die cut earlier, and I'm just going to apply some Tamamano glue to it and apply that to my white panel that we also die cut earlier. So I'm placing that down, and now I'm going to work on my sentiment for the main panel, and it's going to say, "I just love you." And just love these little sentiments, very, very simple sentiments in this little stamp set. So I really, really do love it. So I'm inking it up with the same black ink, the Memento Tuxedo Black. And I'm just going to stamp that down, just in the lower left corner there. And now I'm going to go ahead and work on my sentiment for the inside panel. Might as well while I've got my supplies out. And it's just going to say sending you love, and obviously using the same black ink. And so I'm going to mount that to my block here, and then also stamp that with the same ink like I said. And I was going to use just some little hearts. There's not hearts in this little stamp set. I was going to get some little hearts from other stamp sets that I have, but I decided to go ahead and keep this one just with the sentiment on the inside. So now I'm going to go ahead and get some foam adhesive onto my little image here, and then place her down, and make sure that I got it lined up there. And now I also put foam adhesive on my main panel too, just to pop it up and give it a little bit of dimension from the card base. So go see it, go ahead and line that up and adhere that into place. And now I'm going to add some, I was going to add my little panel on the inside. I just took my glue since I had it out and it was easy. It was right beside me. So I went ahead and applied glue to the back of that and got that adhered. So now you've got the inside portion all ready to go as well. And then now we're going to go add some final touches to the card here. I'm going to add my little bit of Wink of Stella to the heart on the little card, as well as the little heart on her, like her little barrette there in her hair. And then I'm going to add some enamel dots. This is something else that I haven't used in quite a bit. So I'm just finding some colors that I think will go well with the card. So I'm going to go ahead and place 3 of those down, because of course I always love to add my embellishments three at a time, or in odd numbers rather, 3, 5, 7, that kind of thing. It's kind of more pleasing to the eye, really. And I'm just kind of picking it up with my scissors there. Sometimes those things are a little bit hard to pick up, but I got them going. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up and add my last enamel dot. And that pretty much finishes up the card for today. I also wanted to show you that I did do another variation of this card, just with a little bit of different colors, and I also added some glossy accents to the heart there. And as you can see, I added hearts to the inside as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, go ahead and give it a thumbs up for me. I appreciate you all watching and subscribing, and I will see you on my next video. Bye-bye.